Okay, welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. 23 Volt here to review the rotational shift for the upcoming pack for Shadowverse. And today in this episode, we're going to be talking about Runecraft. So, if we actually look at the popular decks for Runecraft right now, Tora, again, very strong. Shikigami, aka Spell Boost Runecraft, is pretty prominent as well. Got a couple of dirt rune. This Carol Runecraft, is this a thing? I don't know if this is a thing. Fuck it. Majority of the time, I see Shikigami rune and Natura rune. Let's go over the cards that are going to be leaving. So the good thing with Runecraft is that Machina wasn't really prominent. It was back in the day, but nowadays it's not as good anymore. I personally did try to run a Machina deck involving all the Machina cards in existence. But anyway, let's go over what is leaving. Legendary-wise, Magisa's actually going to leave. So Earthright's losing a big key card that, like a many dirt runes may use. On the note of dirt rune, Clark is actually going to be seeing leave, which is a big sad, because Clark was actually, again, seen in nearly every deck. It spell boost, it drew cards, it dealt damage to not just the enemy followers, but face. This was a good card. It was just generally a good card, but it's going to be gone now. Tetra, I'm going to miss Tetra. Tetra was very fun to play around with, just because of the whole, recovering play points. Especially when you had the Machina card that recovers one play point whenever you play a Machina card. He's not here, but, he's a key component in that deck. But as well as you got to notice that Machina's cards such as Machinalized Lifeform and the Magitech Golem are going to be gone. Sagacious Core, that's a big loss for many rune decks that use this, because it recovered play points as well as it gave you 2 insights, so that's card draw and spell boost. It was just generally really good to play, especially if you're going to be controlling for that spell boost late game. Solomon was kind of a thing. Never really got to see Solomon a whole lot though, unfortunately. But in my opinion, kind of a bit of a loss to, I would say, big loss to spell boost rune. And dirt rune kind of got hit with loss of Magisa and Clark as well. But anyway, that's enough of the cards lost. Let's talk about the cards that are going to be jumping in. First off, Linkle the Fool, a 2/2/2, a legendary Runecraft card. Fanfare, choose to put either the Rite of Ignorant or a Scourge of Omniscient into your hand. And Evo, recover 2 play points. First of all, that is stupid. It gets full Evo stats as well, which is kind of... Why not make it for a 0 cost 4/4, okay? Why the hell not? But the thing that's really scary, not this thing. This thing is actually... It's really weird. I don't know how many spell boost cards are there that can take huge benefit off this. Because ideally, you're going to be playing this from turn 5 onward. There are a lot of cards in the game that have a 5 play points spell boost kind of gimmick to it. Whether it's reduced cost or whatever, something else. The fact that it's randomly generated from 1 to 10, I'm not sure about how I feel about that. You do draw 2 cards, which is neat. I believe that the card that you draw it's not even like a tutor. So it will still get the effect of it will be destroyed, right? So then give it. So it's going to get destroyed if you don't play it. So hope to God that it's not a win con card, because if you lose it, then too bad, too sad, you drew out. This is another one of those RNG things. So in Forestcraft, the RNG is based on what your opponent plays. With Swordcraft, the RNG is legit it itself. Who is it going to hit? Is it going to hit your enemy leader or your leader? This RNG is going to be what card are you going to draw that got this effect. So there's this gimmick for this pack, I guess. But this one's the scary one. Give the leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, reduce the enemy's leader to maximum defense by 1. This sucks because you play this on turn 2. So let's say you're going second against this guy. He plays it on turn 2. He gets a Scourge, because, why wouldn't you get the Scourge? Scourge is a 2 play point spell. Doesn't do anything, but essentially it's doing 1 damage to you every turn. So it's a magic missile that never misses and does permanent damage. Every turn. It spell boosts. It doesn't draw a card, thankfully, but it is still a lingering effect that your leader has to deal with. I'm not looking forward to it because this really does, especially if you get the full early, it just makes Runecraft have so much more reach, you know, with a lot of their spell boost storm cards. As well as it lasts for the rest of the match. This thing is stackable. So imagine you play this, by turn 4, you can have 2 of these going at your health. If you got super unlucky. Now again, that's a super, super high roll scenario, but the matter of the fact is, it counts, which RNG is going to fucking destroy me. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, this card is just, in my opinion, it's just annoying. It's just annoying to deal with because it has so many good uses. It evolves, gives you 2 play points. It has just a general stat line, which is great. It spell boosts with its spell cards. And this thing, you're drawing cards, which is thinning out your deck, and you're eventually going to be playing those cards out anyway. It's good. It's just a good card. So, I'm seeing a lot of people put 3-ofs. There's going to be 3-ofs of those. Easy. Adamantine Golem. This is the that other Earthrise Golem's replacement. During your turn, when this card is added to your hand from your deck, if there are 2 allied Earth Sigil amulets or less in play, reveal it, summon an Earth Essence. So it's one of those ones, you draw it, it's revealed, summon an Earth Essence. That is actually pretty cool. I like it. It's making an impact just by drawing the card already. And it's good for Dirt Right to have some sort of assistance when playing their game. Fanfare, randomly activate one of the following effects. So it's one of those random ones again. So for 6 play points, let's say, best case scenario, you have 4 Earth Sigils. And the cool thing is, it actually doesn't board lock you, because it does say if there are 2 allied sigils or less. So if you had 4 and then you drew it, it doesn't summon another one, thank God. Ideally, this is probably going to be doing it for 3 of these effects, or like 3 times. But let's say best case scenario, 4 times. Summon a Guardian Golem. So maybe you might get a 3-3 with Ward. And the situation would be 6 play points, you get a 5-6, you have 4 3-3s with Ward. That's already pretty scary to deal with. Put a Witch Snap into your hand, change its cost to 0. So that's actually not that bad. If a Witch Snap is deal 3, put an Earth Essence into your hand. Again, doing the whole Dirt Right thing, you're putting more Earth Essence in your hand is actually pretty good. Deal 3 damage freely to an enemy of your choice is actually not that bad. But the drawback to it is that you do put the Earth Essence in your hand, which means you have to play it for 1 cost. Which, again, for Rune isn't too bad because a lot of their cards are cheap anyway and get discounted. But there you go. And then the bottom one, deal 2 damage to enemy leader, restore 2 defense to your leader is probably the best. And it can proc multiple times. So best case scenario, deal 8 damage to enemy leader, you restore 8 defense to your leader. It's pretty good. All of them are pretty, they're generally okay effects. Probably the weakest one would be the Witch Snap, but I guess the whole point of it is that, because it's a follower, right? It's only an enemy follower. Yeah. So you get to, but the cool thing is you get to pick. So it's not random like before. I think it was random before, but at least you get to pick it this time. And you get more Earth Essences to play. For Dirt Rune, that's pretty good. Imperator of Magic, 4 play point, 2/2 gold. Earthright, summon an emergency summoning. Enhance 6, recover 1 play point. Has an evolve effect. Deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the number of allied amulets destroyed during this match. If I get this straight, it's a 4 play point 2/2 that's pretty weak body wise. Enhance 6, it's a 6 play point 4/4. Removes, which more than likely will be removing an enemy follower. So it's a 6 play point, let's say, Fiery Embrace, but it also puts a emergency summoning in play. I think that's actually not that bad. I don't mind it as much. I think that's pretty good, because when your opponent plays a follower, then you're getting value out of the card. But it's pretty, I think he can, so the idea is you get rid of a big follower, it trades in with a smaller follower, you get board control. When your opponent plays something, your board gets even bigger. That's how I see this card. So, okay, decent enough. But again, I won't know how annoying it is until I see it in action. Madcap Conjuration. Oh, look at that poor little fucking golem. 2 play point gold rune. Discard your hand. If at least 2 spells were discarded, draw 5. 2 followers discarded, restore all followers. If at least 2 amulets discarded, summon that. That is very hard to play around. I don't mind it, but the tricky thing about this is that what are you going to do? Is it going to be, are the amulets your Earth Sigils? Are the spells are just, it's Runecraft, so there's going to be spells anyway. And the followers, what are your followers going to be? It's weird. I mean, now I can see the Earth Essence from Witch Snap being useful here. But other than that, I don't really know. Like, this one seems a bit iffy to me because you're recycling your hand. And most of the time, like, Runecraft is not even, like, close to having card draw problems. But it puts you down to 5 cards. And those 5 cards don't have spell boost because you've discarded your hand that was spell boost before. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. Alright, entering new territory. Juggling Moggy. Oh, it's a Mogu. 1/1/1 silver. Earthright, gain 1/1. Last word, summon 2 Earth Essences. Oh, that's cool. I like this. This is neat. So, for 1 play point, you get 2/2 body, and then it dies, summon 2 Earth Essences. It's a really good card. It's bad very early, but very good if you have an Earth Sigil in play. Alright, Sweet Spell Sorcerer, 5 play points for 4 silver. Whenever you play a spell, summon a Happy Pig. Evolve all Happy Pigs. Whenever you play a spell, summon a Happy Pig. How often can you proc this? This is also fucking a nutty defensive card though. You clear the board, and then you have a bunch of last word followers that restore defense to your leader. Again, that's the whole thing of it though. It's a defensive card that it doesn't really advance your gameplay. Granted, if you somehow discount a bunch of spells in your hand to 0 cost, evolve this thing, and then you have a bunch of what? Evolved 4/4s in play? Yep. Okay, this card can be pretty good late game, but I'm a Swordcraft main, so I don't know really much of any other of the crafts. But if anyone can come up with a really good idea, that'd be pretty cool to hear. Authoring Tomorrow. Runecraft, silver, 2 cost, give your leader the following effect at the end of your turn. Actually, before I go into this card, I have this open. What spells? Arcane Ether can work well with it. But then again, if you're playing Arcane Ether, why would you play that instead of, like, Natura? The odds that you're going to be able to play Disintegration after it is very unlikely. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be synergies within the later game, but Arcane Ether will definitely go well with this. Shikigami Summons is actually pretty okay with this deck as well. But see, the problem is there's no discount in here, so I don't know. We'll see, but again, we'll see what else it has in store. Give your leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, if it is your 2nd, 4th, 6th, or 8th turn, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. If it's your 3rd, 5th, 7th, or 9th turn, draw a card. If it's your 10th turn or later, deal 5 damage to the enemy leader. This effect is not stackable and is removed after activating 3 times. Like, this card absolutely dumpsters this. Like, it absolutely dumpsters this on turn 5. Oh, fuck. That if it's 10 turn later, play this. You do 5 damage to enemy leader. That's constantly hitting you for 3 times. That's actually not too bad. It's a finisher for sure. If you get to the late game as Runecraft, which many Runecraft players do. There's a lot of control rune out there. Creative Conjurer, 2 play point 2/2 bronze follower. Fanfare, if there are no Earth Sigil amulets in play, summon an Earth Essence. Otherwise, perform Earthright. Put a Golem summoning in your hand. Is that the fucking 5 play point thing? Oh no, what's this? I've never seen this one. Golem summoning, summon a Guardian Golem. This is a new card. This is a new token. But a Guardian Golem is the 3 play point... Oh no, is the 3/3 ward, sorry. You play this guy so that you get Earth Sigils in play, which, again, that's really good. Otherwise, you perform it, and you put this into your hand, which is also pretty good. 2 play point, 3/3 ward. If there's 20 cards or less in your deck, you can evolve it, which, again, late game, very neat. Take 2 is going to have fun with this card, I'll tell you that much. Arcane Artur. Last words, put an Insight in your hand, 3 play point, 3/3. Nothing much else. It's kind of bland, to be honest. I mean, you get an Insight, which is okay, but then that means you have to play 1 play point to draw. Piquant Potioneer. 4 play point, 3/3 bronze follower. Fanfare, deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. If you have 20 cards or less, deal 3 instead. That is a massively good take 2 card. What the fuck? There's a lot of these freaking, like, AoE control rune cards, which is bizarre. And I think this is their only spell, Magical Augmentation. One rune, oh Jesus. Deal 1 damage to enemy follower. Earthright 2. Deal 4 instead, then draw 2 cards. This is good. This is a really good card. Now, the question is how many Earthright cards can you produce in that amount of time. Let's have a look. So zero play point thing, you know, that's for free. Witch's Cauldron, easy, 1 play point card. You draw it, put an Earth Essence in your hand. It's an Earth Sigil. Summon an Earth Essence. I can't believe I don't have Levi. This is also pretty neat. Crystallized Earth Sigil. Deal 3 damage to an enemy follower. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of ways to produce Earthright stuff in the game. And then for like a 1 play point, deal 4, draw 2. That's pretty good. I like this card. So there you go. Alright, so where do I believe this puts us in Runecraft? So I really do think Earth or Dirt Rune has gotten a big push in this archetype. Natura Rune got unaffected, so Natura Rune's still going to be pretty strong. Spellboost Rune didn't really get a whole bunch of stuff. Like in my opinion, in my whole honest opinion, I actually think this whole Runecraft is going to be really focused around Natura and Dirt. And then there's just this card that's just going to be in every deck. I really just see this card's just going to be used everywhere. Like, even just as a follower itself, like, you get to put either this or this. This draws you more cards. This just makes it a nightmare for your opponent. And it's a fanfare effect. And then it even has an evolve effect, which made you play for free. Either or, I think Runecraft is still pretty in a healthy spot. It's still just going to be played for its combos. We're going to move on. We're going to be going into Dragoncraft next episode, so I'll see you guys there.